8 old fishing reels that are worth real money right now, and the detail on each one that tells you whether yours is the $40 version or the $4,000 version. Because with almost every reel in this video, the same model name covers both. Here is what I found. Let us start the countdown. Number 8, the Mitchell 300. This is the one most of you already have. French-made, absolutely everywhere from the 50s through the 70s, and still a genuinely good reel, which is exactly why a plain one sells for $20 to $40. They made an enormous number of them, and most of them survived. So here is the detail. The value is not in the reel. It is in the plastic case it came in. There is a tag inside that case with a serial number on it, and if that number matches the number on the reel, and both are clean, you are in a completely different conversation. Matched serials with the paperwork is the difference. Most people threw the case away. If you did not, go and look. The next one is the same story, with a much bigger gap. Number 7, the Ambassadeur. A standard 5,000, the red one everybody knows, sells for $25 to $40 on a good day. A collector who sold a batch of clean pre-1980 Abus said he was lucky to get 40 to 50 apiece. Now the other end, a black record Ambassadeur 5,000 sold at a Danish collector's auction for 36,000 Danish kroner. Another went through angling auctions in Britain for over 3,000 pounds. Record 1900 Model A has sold at 700. A gold-plated 5,000 DL with a low serial number gets appraised north of $1,000. Same factory, same family of reel. The detail is the color and the serial number. Red is common. Black and anything marked record is not. Number 6 is a brand you know from the shelf today, which is part of why people miss it. Number 6, Pflueger. Pflueger is still on the wall at every tackle shop, so an old one does not look special, and most are not. The Medalist fly reel and the Akron were made in huge numbers, and common examples are worth what any well-used old reel is worth. The early Supreme is the exception. It was made in comparatively small quantities, and that scarcity is what separates it from the Medalist sitting next to it in the same drawer. The detail is the model number stamped on the reel and whether it is pre-war. A Supreme with its box and paperwork is a different object from a Supreme somebody used for 30 years, and the saltwater equivalent is sitting in a lot of garages on the coast. Number 5, Penn. The Senator and the Squitter are the two names to look at. Penn made these by the truckload for decades, so an ordinary one is a user reel and priced like one. What moves a Penn is size, condition, and provenance. The larger, big game sizes in exceptional condition are what collectors want, and a documented link to a notable angler or a famous shop adds real money on top. And I want to use this one to make a point. There is a Squitter 140 with a Newell conversion that has been offered at $1,800. Offered. That is somebody asking, not somebody paying, and those are two entirely different numbers. Hold on to that because it comes back at the end of this video. The detail here is the size stamp and the box. A big Senator in the box with its paperwork is worth looking up properly before it goes anywhere. Now we leave the reels most people recognize. Because here is the thing that explains this entire video, and it is the opposite of what people assume. Age is not what makes a reel valuable. If a reel was popular, well-made, and cheap, the company sold it in the tens of thousands, and tens of thousands of them survived. There is no shortage, so there is no price. That is why a 70-year-old Mitchell 300 is worth $40. What makes a reel valuable is scarcity, condition, and completeness. A short production run, an unusual color, an early serial. The box, the leather case, the paperwork, the little tool that came with it. The reels in the second half of this video are worth money because almost nobody has one. Starting with the one people mistake for a cheap old fly reel. Number 4, Hardy. The English fly reels. Hardy made a great many, but the collectible ones are specific. The pre-war Perfect in St. George, particularly with a red agate line guard, and in the scarcer diameters, around 2 5/8 or 3 5/8 inches. I am not going to put a number on this one because the figures you see quoted online are usually asking prices rather than what anybody paid. The detail is the agate guard, the diameter, and whether the finish is original rather than polished up by somebody hoping to help. The next 3 are American. and they are where the real money is. Number 3. Vom Hofe. Two brothers, two names, and both matter. Julius Vom Hofe and Edward Vom Hofe, New York from around 1860 onward. German silver and hard rubber, made to a standard that has not been repeated. A Julius Vom Hofe B Ocean size 60 sold at $575. An Edward Vom Hofe 722 rod and reel set went for $2,000 at auction in 2021. A Restigouche 6.0 with its original leather case has been listed at $1,950. The detail is the maker's name on the reel foot and which brother it says. Number 2 goes back further still. Number 2. B.F. Meek and Sons and the Kentucky reels generally. Meek, Milam, Bluegrass Reel Works. These are the reels that introduced spiral-cut internal gears, made in Kentucky in the 1800s, and they are the foundation of American reel collecting. An ABF Meek & Sons No. 44 fly reel sold for $3,200 at a Soulis auction in 2021. The detail is the foot stamp. That is where the maker's name and the model number are, and on a reel this old it is often the only marking there is. And number 1 holds the record. Number 1. Billinghurst. This is the birdcage reel, a skeletal open-work design that looks like nothing else. William Billinghurst of Rochester, New York, patented it on the 9th of August, 1859, U.S. patent number 24,987. If you have seen one, you know immediately. A bass-sized Billinghurst in its original box holds the record for an American fishing reel sold at auction. It went through Lang's auction in 2007 for over $42,000. And this is not just a museum story. Lang's Sporting Collectibles, the leading auction house for angling, published a most wanted list of 10 items with a combined value of over $400,000. And they said plainly that these things may be sitting in people's homes right now, with the owners having no idea what they have. So how do you find out what yours actually is without guessing? 3 things in order. First, photograph the reel foot. The maker's name and the model number are stamped there, and that is what an appraiser will ask for first. Second, find the box, the case, and any paperwork, because on the common reels that is the entire difference between $40 and $400. Third, look up completed sales, not listings. Remember that $1,800 squitter? That is an asking price, and I have no idea whether anybody paid it. What somebody is asking means nothing. What somebody paid means everything. And on most sites, you can filter for exactly that. And if the foot says Vom Hofe, Meek, Milam, Talbot, Gale, Bogdan, Zwarg, or Billinghurst, stop. Do not clean it, do not oil it, do not polish anything. Get it appraised. Several auction houses will do it for free because they want the consignment. One honest warning, because I would rather say this than have you disappointed. Condition drives everything in this market, and most old reels are in used condition. The average antique reel is worth a few $100s, not a few thousand. A cleaned or repainted reel loses a large part of its value, and a replaced part can have it. The numbers in this video are real sales, but they are the top end of each name. Yours is more likely to be an ordinary example, and that is fine. The point is that you should know which one you have before somebody at a yard sale offers you $20 for it. So do not sell any of these to the first person who offers. That is the whole message. The gap between what these reels bring at a garage sale and what they bring at auction is the largest gap in fishing. And it exists entirely because most people never look at the foot. What is in your garage? Put the maker and the model in the comments, and I will tell you what I can find on it.